Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. So in today's energy update, it's going to be a little bit intense. So again, this is an invitation for you, please, to always take what resonates and drop what doesn't. But then again, I really felt the importance because of the energies we're going through. They're not all fluff. They're not all like light and love. And it brings up a little bit of resistance in me, or like, should I speak into this? But I feel it's important. It's not so comfortable or comforting, and maybe can bring, because it's not conventional as well, to like speak into these things. But I feel it's important to do so, especially if you're someone that's been feeling these things and you're wondering what is really going on. And mainly what I'm going to be breaking down today is that split of matrices, what I'm going to call split of matrices, split of dimensions, split of realities, whatever you want to call it. But also that sense where you're able to feel, that again, I'm going to speak about strong words here, but feel, notice, sense a lot of dead energy around you in the collective. So I'm really going to break that down, but also you're able maybe to pick up on some negative energy, negative entities, dark entities. You're able to step into that, the presence, or pick up on that fourth dimensional reality. And at the same time, you're able to sense that contrast where you're feeling really the contrast between your world and the world on the outside. So I'm going to kind of break that down, but also the timelines that are overlapping within you and on the outside. Like there's this timeline of light and hope and bliss, and then at the same time there's this very dense and dark sense of existence that we're in. So, and maybe that could also making you feel that you're stuck. There's a sense of like stuckness. Where are we moving? Where are we heading? There's maybe a bit of sense of lack of clarity. So if you're feeling any of these, this video is for you. But before we begin, I want to invite you to my next vision quest that is literally a calling for way showers, whether you claim it or you haven't claimed it. You feel like there's this huge paradigm shift that you're deeply yearning for. There's this calling for you to step into something more for the greater good. But there could be some things that are holding you back, whether consciously or unconsciously, some distortions that have been placed upon you or you have placed upon yourself. And it's literally, this vision quest is going to be this massive activation and initiation. I really call it like a ceremony from beginning to end. So please check that one out on my website. Trusting that if you are here listening to this message, that on some level it's for you, because now more than ever there's a sense of really standing strong in who we are. And I know that that's been the theme that I've been kind of speaking into this last month, where there was this huge collapse and rebirth of identity. It's coming more and more, but it really feels like this very strong calling for us warriors of God, and to truly claim that energy, to truly claim the reality of being devoted to the light, being devoted to God, being devoted to Source. Like, I feel this is truly an activation and a calling that's very, very strong, and it feels like, whoa, that is big. But that is how big you are. That is truly how big you are, that you can hold that. And I know that there's so many ideas out there that there's a bee, there's this very big bumblebee, I think. It's beautiful. Okay. So it's funny, I was saying big and you're like big, and then there was this huge bumblebee, big one, that was coming up and claiming it like, I'm here. Okay. So what I was saying was that it truly is the space more than ever now to claim who you are. But the thing is that there's so many ideas sometimes out there in our spirit path that maybe you have awakened to a mission of yours, or maybe you didn't. And if you didn't, I want to say it's okay, because also if you have connected to a mission of yours, I truly am somebody that believes that our mission is just to be truly alive and to be ourselves in this lifetime, to feel alive, to live, to appreciate life. And that the mission at the end of the day is ourselves, our own inner journey, our own inner growth. It's not like you're here to be the savior for humanity, to be the savior that has to carry this mission on its shoulders and go in this, because that is secondary. That comes as your purpose. So right now, when I'm saying you're here to anchor in the light, that's going to be a ripple or result for your external. But you anchoring in the light and being more and more your own expression and your own embodiment of the matrix of light, the divine matrix, the divine grid, which I'm going to break down, is first and foremost for you, for your heart, for your body, for your mind, for your life. That all of these are literally a vessel to God, are a vessel to the divine. More than ever right now, it's important to claim it. More than ever right now, it's important every single day to set an intention, to go back to prayer to the divine, to prayer to God, to ask and really open up that everything that we're going through, we're given the strength, the courage, the clarity, the purity to remain devoted to the light no matter what happens. So let's break that down. More than ever, we're noticing, and I know maybe many people are speaking about it also out there, but like I've spoken about this, the split of dimension. But it's just so weird, guys. I don't know if you've noticed it. For me, just recently, like relocating to Peru, to a place where I always called home. Deep down, I always knew it was my soul home. But being gone for a while and coming back, I've been grieving a little bit, because I'm like, wow, so much has changed. But it's not that. It's what changed was the people, in terms of like what has been done to humanity in the last few years. And the huge, massive war that has been taking on everybody's bodies, the force, the implementation. And I know that I'm very conscious of what I'm using, because there's not much freedom of expression on these platforms. And noticing that what's being picked up on the collective is, especially seeing the contrast, right, is that there's literally this death energy versus life. And like the people that have been forced into that timeline, and I'm really saying forced because they did not know. They've been really forced into that timeline. They're carrying the code of death, forgetfulness, numbness. And it's like more and more this devotion to the machinery, more and more devotion to that false grid, to that false matrix, that less and less there's this presence, this noticing, this expression of soul in their eyes, in the way that they live. And so the collective matrix that is around you, that you are needing to be part of in your day-to-day reality, whether you have the choice to plug in and out, and I really salute you if you do not have the choice and you're really like, you have your job or whatever that you have to go, like really like, wow, you're amazing if you're doing that with your capacity. So you're noticing that you're on your outside. The collective is carrying that very dense, dark energy that is just going more and more into this regression state, instead of evolution of consciousness, it's like this regression of consciousness, this further separation from soul, this further separation from sovereignty. And there's literally, it carries with it a lot of those dense energies of anger, frustration, fear, dysregulated emotion. It's just like something else is moving them. Something else is operating. Something else is occupying their body, their mind, their heart. And they are truly, with their awareness or without their awareness, devoted. They are leaking, they are giving their energy to the false grid, to really the demonic forces. Unless there truly is God in their heart. Even if they're not on the path, even if they were forced into that timeline, but if there's God and very strong presence and devotion to being a kind human being, then that's not there. But as a collective, the way that you want to, like, it's like coming to me, right, is this vision of like you're this ball of light and you're literally like moving through inside a bigger bubble that is all black, and that is literally connected to a completely different grid than the one that you are in. Why I'm saying this, again, this is not in separation yet. You're able to feel the separation, although you don't want. There might be this very strong yearning of belonging, of grief, of like, what the hell happened? Of wanting to be part of that, of wanting maybe to voice out, to scream, to wake, to make an awakening happen, so that what you're witnessing is not taking place. But what you're witnessing is truly the reality, is the truth of what is going on. And why I'm saying it's a prayer, because if you look at, let's say, a place right now that is literally that wide, and the 90% of it is, or 99% of it is anchored and carrying that darkness, that death energy, life force that's been completely taken away from them, connection to source, connection to God, to fill you, to fill your body, to fill your heart, to fill your mind with inspiration, with intelligence, with awareness, to fill your heart with pure passion and connection. All of that is shut down. And you are walking there, you little 1% bubble of light, and you're open, and you're a human being, okay? And you're just walking there, and bloop, bloop, bloop. Within that dominant state of being that is death, that is fear and anger and greed and whatever it is, and you're plugged into it. And that is truly why it only makes sense that you're looking everywhere for some sort of reflection, to reflect to you some sort of answer of what is possible for the future. Times have changed so much that you're like, is there even any purpose to what you're here to do or create? Everywhere you look, there's not going to be this reflection. And that is why you are here, to be that reflection. But also know that there's this, I was going to say tactic or strategy, but tactic and strategy for the light worker. But this piece of hint, or this navigation system or tool for navigation, where truly it's about reinforcing, I was saying in the beginning, reinforcing prayer, reinforcing that connection you have with source, claiming it more than ever, making that prayer to know and remember that you have your own grid. You are not, as much as you are part of that collective grid, you have your own personal individual grid, and you have control over that. And so just imagining that and visualizing that you are your own bubble and your own grid, that you have control of over that. And by making that prayer, that you are your own world, you are your own energy, you are devoted to light, and you call in the prayer to navigate the collective grid within your own grid, that is that of light. And you are here to be so strong in your reflection, so strong in your own light. And what I mean by that is not like those tactics of like, just imagine yourself in light and like shine light, and or like if you felt a bit of like those dense energies, like you failed. That's not what it is. It's truly a strength that is built within yourself. A gentleness and a softness, guys. That is so important, because the world is so tough, and like all these walls and barriers around it, and anger and protection. And literally you're just standing there with that bubble of gentleness and softness that is that of your heart. And at the same time, that very strong strength in your own self, in knowing yourself so much that you're able to identify where something from the outside, that is the collective darkness, has plugged into you, has like tickled you, has attacked you, and in what way has your energy shifted. And the thing is that it's interesting, because it's going to plug into something, because it wants you to drop into that vibration of fear. It wants you to drop into chaos or getting lost or whatever, and so it's not going to do it in a sense where, a superficial layer. It's going to tackle a very deep core within. So you might notice yourself that all of a sudden what is the thing that you fear the most? All of a sudden it's popping up. Okay? So you can imagine where all around you right now, there's this death and lack of life energy, life force. And okay, and I'm really doing that because you can feel it. That's the dimension, that heavy, dense. Okay, no light that is moving them, no awareness, no God's presence, right? So sad. So sad. And then there's you, okay? And the world around is not just you're gonna feel stuck. But at the same time, you know that what you're connecting to is the prison grid, that you are part of that collective web. But yet your grid is connected to source, to infinity. And that is what you want to remember. That is what you want to connect with every single day, even though you don't feel it. Truly use the power of prayer. Use the power of intention. Just claiming it, that your life, your mind, your heart, your soul are only and only open to God and divine source, nothing else. And this is where I'm going to speak actually into the attacks. Now, as what's going on with you as that light worker, you are feeling, okay, that huge shift that is going on the collective. That is truly an unchaining, a death process, a shedding that is going on. But with that, what is happening is that the fourth dimension, and why I'm saying it's the fourth dimension entities, because usually the dark entities, that is what they operate in. Because I also spoke about this in one video that I will tag, but basically 3D is completely disconnected from the spirit realm. So you're just completely disconnected from spirituality. You're just thinking you're just this, and the material physical world. Everything is, there's no vibration, no energy, no soul to things, and you're just moving your day to day, right? Which we drop into sometimes, especially when we have like, you know, physical matter stuff to do, or we get triggered in those areas like money and security and these things. And then you have the fourth dimensional reality, where that's when you took a sneak peek into the spirit realm. And what happens there usually? It's really like all spirits, you know. So this is where the darkness happens, right? In our conscious, that dual consciousness that takes place there, because all of a sudden you're like, oh, things have spirits, and then it's like, yeah, but that's the world of energy. So there's darkness and there's light, right? And then just not going to go into the fifth dimensional reality, where it's just literally devotion to God, devotion to source, and just light that is moving you into your life. And so there's this bouncing back and forth. And so when you get into, because now of that heightening of death, as if like you want to see it that what we're experiencing as humanity is this, all of a sudden we've been looking away, and all of a sudden now we are looking at the prison, we are looking at the prison guards, the prisoners. I mean, there's the prison guards, but we're looking at the prisoners, and all of a sudden you're seeing it, and the prisoners are trying to fight, or they're doing everything they can to open up those gates. And that is a little bit the process, now that I'm voicing that out, is that there's those threads that are coming out of the prisoners that are trying the best they can to keep the prison chained, right? There's not an exit, but they're fighting with all they have, so they're trying to use all of their tools. And so you could be picking up on those dark entities or those psychic attacks that could be happening that are really, really intense, because you literally are the warrior of light, okay? So you're literally, whether you have chosen it or not, you are not in the prison, you're outside, and you're ready to move forward, but they can see that you can see, okay? So there it is, they can see, you can see, and there's actually the meeting, you know. It's like you're facing each other all of a sudden. But now that I'm saying this, I want you to know that this is maybe not conventional from what happens out there or what you hear out there about protection. Is that I truly want you to know deep down that you are of the light. You are a very strong light worker. And so as much as these entities or these dark stuff are messing with you, because of that, they make you believe that either you are darkness, they make you believe that you're actually playing with them. Mainly their biggest illusion is that they really make you believe that you are darkness itself. Because you know why? Because people that truly play with darkness, even shamans, that, people that play with the dark realms and the spirit realm, they're allies with the dark forces, okay? Like, they don't see them as like, oh my God, I got attacked. No, they're playing with them. They're dancing with the shadow. So that's not your case. So if you're feeling that they're messing with you, the biggest thing they do is that they truly make you believe that you're dark, and they put you in those dark places where you think that you have no light. But truly, this is all an illusion. They're truly just playing and messing with you. And very contrary to what is out there about protect yourself and shield yourself, and it's actually not that whatsoever. It's all an illusion that, I'm not saying it's not present, it is. But the key is to remember your strength with God. Remember your strength with spirit. Remember your connection to that. Just remember it to an extent where even if you cannot feel it, just call upon it. Just call upon it. Just call upon it. And that is truly what I keep noticing over and over again in the work that I do when I do my quantum energy work with other people in ceremonial spaces, is that the entities just truly disempower you. They disempower the person to when they actually have truly no power. And that's what I mean by the illusion, is that the moment you just call upon the light, that is where sometimes you need support, you know, and that's what we're here for, you know, just doing this type of work is like, if you're feeling it, let's do some type of work around that, you know. When you're feeling it, just call upon source, call upon light, just keep connecting with your grid. And that's the message I want to tell you. They are messing up with our field. They are, but they're not messing up with our core. That's what they want us to believe. So just keep remembering that within your own grid as you're moving through this. Okay, because we are literally in that battle right now. We are in that battle. Remember, the collective and the macro and the micro is literally going on. We are in the biggest time of unchaining, in that battle that is really like head to head. And so it's the same going on in our own personal matrix, personal grid. It's not something easy to say, but it's literally like this split of reality between possession, again, strong word, but being possessed by things that are not of source light, that are not of your own divine code. And that's why also I want to say here, and it's important just to be mindful as well with channeling. When you open up your field, like truly call upon only and only your direct connection with source. Because there's a lot of shapeshifters. There's a lot of tricksters. There's a lot of delusion that I feel I just cannot emphasize more than this. Just call upon your own connection with source. Call upon only and only divine source energy, nothing more. And so there's truly what I'm saying, the split, right? It's like this possession. We're feeling like it's not your own source code, your own full light and full energy that is occupying all of you. And because of what's been put in the bodies and the choices that have been forced upon, the lack of sovereignty on one's own body, the lack of sovereignty on one's own connection with source, instead let's go to these different gods and spirits and guides and no. It severs, right, that happen in your field. And there's this possession, and then there's being fully light, like connecting to one's own source grid without any possession. Now the thing is that those fourth dimensional entities are doing their best to connect and to infiltrate our own divine grids. So hence why also they try everything, right? Hence the importance of like clearing the body right now with a lot of like detoxes, parasite cleanse. And also I'm going to tag, please truly check out the quantum protocol that I recommend and I work with. Cellular health and like body health is super important for me. It's also, I have so many videos on that, because it truly is, remember, your body is the vessel. So using prayer to bring in light, using energy work to clear the fields, to bring clarity, to do the inner work on our patterns, our consciousness. And then there's the physical body, because we are in the physical and material plane, and they have their tools, okay, which are parasites. So there's so many infiltrations happening there because they want to try everything they can to get, right? That's where also the possessions happen. And so noticing that contrast, and guys, like I want to share that was just like super freaky. There's this, I literally like had this encounter with this person, and kind of what I was sharing earlier, this immense forgetfulness. So there was this like amnesia of timelines, like as if we spoke about something and then it didn't happen. And because of that complete erasure of timeline, because they're not fully present in their body, so they're just so prone to, like, they just forget, they're not fully embodied, landed in their body. And because of that, like bringing the truth out caused a huge dysregulation of emotions. And in 1 second, like I was looking at that person and their eyes just went like, just they blinked and there was just black in their eyes. And I must admit, I was just like, whoa. And that's what I was saying. It was like, it's such an unconventional way, because in there, it's not a place where you want to shield yourself and protect yourself and take your sword and be like, demon and evil, leave this person, or get out of my house, or get out of my, you know. It's a place where you just truly come back, like whenever you see that moment, you come back to your own energy, to your own essence, and not respond and react to what they're projecting. And I'm doing a video about this one. I don't know if I've published it already or I've already done it, but we'll tag it if I have, or just stay tuned, about noticing when you're responding from your own energy. The importance of that, right? Your own source grid, your own sovereign grid. And the moment that you do, you're not playing that game with them. You're not playing that dynamic with them. And you're just you. You're coming back to your own core, your own heart, your own softness, your own truth, you know, with heart, with whatever it is. And that's where the shift happens. Because it's truly freaky, guys, like what is going on and what you might witness in and around you. So I'm really curious to hear from you. Leave in the comments below what your experience has been, where your resonance with what I have shared. If you haven't resonated, please just, you know, move forward with your day. Again, just take what resonates and what doesn't. And I really look forward and hope to see you in my next Vision Quest. If you have any questions around that, you are free also and welcome to email me about that. Okay, much love.